My name's Emily Chambers, and I'm a musician from Vancouver, Canada. Musically, I would say I'm R&B soul. I was introduced to Motown music pretty young. I started taking singing lessons when I was like 8 years old from this awesome Canadian jazz singer named Joni Taylor. So she introduced me to Etta James and Donny Hathaway and Aretha Franklin and Stevie Wonder, and Ella Fitzgerald and the old jazzers too. So I have a lot of that old classic influence in me, but I also love Lauryn Hill and Amy Winehouse and D'Angelo and some of the new guys that are coming out as well from the UK. I love Sinead Hartnett and Ellie Ingram. So I'd say I pull a lot of influences from everywhere, as we always should be. It's really important to me to record things live off the floor and with a full band and with a real drum kit, at least at this point in my career. So I guess I'm a little old school that way, and I'm definitely wise beyond my years. I can remember the first time I performed in front of the entire school. I was in grade 5 at our talent show in elementary school, and I was just like physically shaking. And it was just, I sang Reflections by Christina Aguilera. And it was just like such a rush of adrenaline and, you're so vulnerable. It's so like exposing, especially at such a young age. And I didn't actually get addicted to that right away. I was pretty stage shy for a while, but sort of as I came into my own, and definitely in the last, 6-7 years, I kind of feel like when you see me on stage, you just met me. It's like my purest form of me. I feel so in my element, and you get to control as many of the circumstances as you can. And I don't know, it's like playing a sport. You just have to kind of go with the flow and be in your game and be on your toes, and it's just adrenaline's rushing, and it's now very addictive. I do a lot of cover material because gigging is also part of my money making, and people love cover bands. But to keep myself interested and the boys that I play with interested, we do make up our own arrangements, and that's sort of a collaborative with the musicians that are around me. Sort of a part of freelancing so many different amazing talented musicians in the city is you want to let them give a little bit of their input. So every gig, depending on who's on it, has a bit of a different flavor, and that's more fun for everybody. We'll break down the structure of a song, and we'll make sure so-and-so and so-and-so get a solo, and we'll go to halftime here, and a lot of it's just kind of done on the fly because I've really had the pleasure to be surrounded by a lot of really talented people, so we can do that. As far as my own music goes, the songwriting process is different all the time. If I'm co-writing, sometimes I'll get sent a chord progression and then I'll write a melody and some lyrics to it, or I do a lot of my own writing a cappella. So just right here and now I would start singing something, and usually some lyrics would come out with the melody, and I really don't know what the song's about until I look back and read at the lyrics that came out with the melody. And usually I'll go with the first thing that sort of came and tweak some things along the way, so it's a little bit more crafty than what first came to my head. But that's such a free way to write. It's really cool because I don't play an instrument proficiently enough to accompany myself. So I'll dabble here on the ukulele or on the keys, but having no parameters to write in has allowed for me to, I think, come up with some pretty cool original stuff.
Every song's about the same guy, same words, same rhymes. No matter how hard I try to find, a different man is still on my mind. And every thought's about the same thing. What is, what was, what could have been? Wonder who's Betty sleeping in. The thought of her makes me just cringe. Oh, how am I supposed to get over a man I don't wanna forget? How am I supposed to feel complete without my other half? Too many boys that have met my eyes, waiting for me to flash that smile. All I would do it if I just knew it, knew it'd be worth my while, baby. there's no end, and I'm just trying to find my way to see what's waiting for me up ahead. Someone tell me that it's beautiful on the other side of this regret. And while I'm searching out, just put these thoughts in my love lost box.
I've been hired to do background vocals before, and that's a little bit, that's way harder for me to do. It's like, okay, yeah, just hit this a little softer. Can you be a little breathier here? Or you go a little sharper on this pitch? And it's like, you don't have an entire take of a song to warm up and do an inflection here and get to that note how you want to. It's just like bang on, ooh. And that for me is like way more difficult because your performance can make up for a lot of not those perfections, not hitting those inflections right on. It's like, oh man, her voice cracked there, but goddamn, she looked into it, you know? Performance is much more freeing that way, I think. You know, I used to watch videos of Mary J. Blige and just how incredibly into it she gets on stage, and my singing teacher Joni used to always say, make it look like it's so much more difficult than it is. You know, like reach for those notes and bend those knees and put your arm out. So performing for me has just become such an expression of the lyrics that I've written and the melodic phrasing that I've done. It's all a part of it when I write now. I just finished my solo EP. It's called Magnolia, and it is really, I think, the best work that I've definitely done so far, and the truest sort of expression of the road that I want to take in the industry, which is just, like I said, live off the floor recordings. Everything's recorded to tape, really pure, honest. We're gonna sound better live than we sound on the CD. The goal is to be able to perform my original music all over the world and have, you know, somewhat of a life, maybe move out of my van at some point. But really, as far as writing goes too, I love co-writing, and I write a lot of songs that aren't for me. They're meant for somebody else's voice. I'm going to Nashville for the first time this year, so hoping to make some connections there and kind of advance into the publishing, licensing world. It's really just about comfort, and I think nothing is sexier than being comfortable in your own skin, and you know, this is what I got, and so I'm gonna rock it. Real talk, time to check out the truth. I'm just never going to be doing choreographed dance. I will never do it because it would take away from the entire show.
What about just choreographed, like, you know, head nodding or, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, a little shifting, maybe for a music video. We'll see. If I have a whole crew of people dancing around me one day, then I don't need to do anything.